Beyond the Headlines on the WMBD Plus app, where we break down today's local news stories with our very own reporters. I'm Brianna Rittman. Today we're getting an inside look at how roads are looking as we get hit with another round of snow. Now we'll take a look at conditions in Peoria and get some tips for how to safely drive in the snow. And lastly, a special holiday treat for movie lovers. See an iconic Christmas movie location that's right here in Illinois. So we start off right here at home. Central Illinois is preparing for another round of snow this afternoon. Peoria and Tazewell County crews have been working around the clock since Friday, and both say the next 24 hours could make for slow and slippery travel. WMBD's Jack Bozikis has kept an eye on the roads all day long and joins us live in the snow right now on University Street. So Jack, what's it like out there for you?
Yeah, Brianna, it's snowing for sure. I can confirm. You know, I look to my left, I see snow, and then over here more snow. So it's bad out here. I don't think it is as bad as it was on Saturday because that, was a winter storm. Really great way to kick off the winter season. But this is, round two. We are back at it, and I've been seeing cars slipping and sliding and seeing plows, coming through the street and trying to do what they can to remove as much snow as they can, and also salting what they can, but it is coming down.
It's definitely beginning to look a lot like Christmas with all that snow. So how much snow is expected?
Yeah, so over the weekend we got about 7 inches, and today they're expecting to add about 2 to 4 more inches on top of what we already got. But the real problem is going to be when the temperatures get even lower than they are right now. It's about 25 degrees out, but it's expected to drop even more so throughout the night. And the problem that causes is that the roads can freeze, and that causes sleet and ice and makes it even more troublesome for the plows out at Public Works, and it makes their job 10 times more difficult.
Now, they were working over the weekend because of the weekend snow, and then a quick turnaround. Here we are on Monday. So how do they tackle a snowstorm like this?
Yeah, well, like I said, they're going to be hitting the main roadways for the foreseeable future until the snow stops. So, that's throughout the city. Where I'm at right now on University, that's a main roadway. And then they're going to be moving into residential areas once the snow stops or it accumulates to 2 inches. So whichever comes first, that's when they'll be in the residential areas. And I mean, at this point, I think we should all just be equipped with like a flamethrower or something and melt it, or get heated streets. That would be awesome, because it is bad out here. I don't know if you could see this. I might see if we can get a wide shot real quick. I'm gonna try and do a little run and slide just to show you how slippery it is out here. Let me know if we're ready. Here we go. Go
ahead. Be careful.
You ready?
Yes.
All right.
Make us a snow angel while you're out there.
So I'm sliding all. Make a snow angel? All right, let's make a snow angel, everybody. We're gonna get down. Oh yeah, this is great. Let's see how we did. Whew, it's cold.
I love that so much.
Yeah, we got a beautiful snow angel. So yeah, it's gonna, for those who aren't in school and can enjoy the snow, go enjoy the snow and have a good time. But for the rest of the people out here who are going to be driving to work tomorrow, be careful, be cautious, add extra time to your commute because you're going to need it, and always allow for room to brake if you're driving.
Jack, I love your enthusiasm. Thank you so much for showing us what the conditions are like out there. Be safe. Well, there's a few animals that enjoy snowfall, just like Jack, like these penguins at the London Zoo. A waddle of Humboldt penguins were fed fishy treats as the holiday season kicked off at the much-loved tourist attraction. The birds were the first animals in the zoo to enjoy a special advent calendar with food inside. The penguins originate from Chile and Peru and are classified as vulnerable on the International Union for Conservation of Nature's red list of threatened species. Isn't that sweet? I know our chief meteorologist, Chris Yates, loves a good penguin video. But it's so interesting, like, we got snow over there and it's dry over there for them. Well, when we come back on Beyond the Headlines, we're continuing coverage on the snow, but this time in McLean County. Austin Feeman will let us know how roads are in McLean County and how you can stay safe while driving in these conditions. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're continuing coverage on the snow here in central Illinois. We started in Peoria and now we're talking about conditions in the Twin Cities. WMBD's Austin Feeman joins us from our Twin Cities newsroom to tell us some winter driving tips from the Normal Police Department. So Austin, how are the roads in the Twin Cities?
Yeah, Brianna, so the roads right now, obviously it is snowing, continuously snowing. The roads are continuously getting covered with snow. And then as well from this past weekend, we have all that ice and whatnot on some of the residential roads. But in general, it's just smart to use some caution. The main roads were clear before this second burst of snow came around. But as of right now, I'm not completely sure on how the roads are looking. I haven't really been out there. I took a quick look. They looked pretty clear with some snow kind of building up in the middle of the road and whatnot. But the actual road seemed fine. Residential roads are still very icy from this past weekend storm. So any roads in a residential area, use caution. They are very icy. I know this morning trying to come here to get to work, I definitely had some trouble getting out of my neighborhood. It was a complete sheet of ice, so definitely be careful. Plows are going to be working overnight, and they're already working now to clear all those main roads and then get to some of those residential roads. All the main roads will be all the main roads will be plowed and salted. All the residential ones will just be plowed, so definitely use caution. And then there's also some parking bans going in Normal and Bloomington right now. Both are in effect right now. And that just means you cannot park on any streets in Bloomington or Normal, but you can park them in driveways, garages, and any free lots available around you.
Okay, so of course we want as many people to stay inside as possible to stay safe, but if they do have to drive, what are some safety tips that you learned today?
Yeah, so definitely number one thing, stay inside. If you have to leave, definitely be careful, but the best way to stay safe is to stay home. Don't go on the roads. Anything can happen when it's slippery and icy and snowy. But if you do have to go out, it's important just to take more time doing everything when you're driving. Turning, braking, accelerating, everything takes a little bit more time. Because you don't want to accelerate too fast and you start slipping, or brake too fast and you start slipping, or even turning, you can start turning all the way around. We definitely don't want any of that. So just take more time when you're driving. Use caution at intersections. Double check each way of the intersection. Make sure no one is sliding through the stop sign unintentionally because they're just not able to stop in time because of icy roads and whatnot. So just double check that. And also, if you see any pedestrians walking, make sure you give them a little bit extra time to cross the road. With all that snow and whatnot, it can take a little bit more time. And just keep your eye out. Sometimes pedestrians may walk in the middle of the road. That is definitely not what you want to be doing. Strictly at crosswalks. I mean, this is all the time, I would say, rule is to cross at the crosswalks. But just keep an eye out for pedestrians. We don't want any unnecessary crashes to happen. And then black ice is real. If you are driving on the road and it looks clear, it may not be clear. It could still have ice on it that you are not able to see. So even if a road looks clear, just continue to drive carefully, especially if those winter especially if those winter conditions are possible, those icy roads and whatnot. And then if you do start to skid on any ice on the road, do not slam your brakes. That is the number one thing not to do, is to not slam those brakes. You want to gently let your foot up off the gas, and you want to turn in the opposite direction, very slowly and very calmly in the opposite direction that you are skidding. So if your back end is going to the right, you would want to turn to the left and vice versa.
So we definitely do not want to panic. Now, however, with all the safety tips we have, sometimes the crash does happen. So what to do if we find ourselves in a crash?
Yeah, so if you do find yourself in a crash, obviously, first thing you need to do is call 911. Get someone on the way that way they can help you. If the crash is safe, I would say, if there's no fires or no cars exploding, if you're not flipped over, it's the best practice is to stay in your car, especially in these winter conditions. Sometimes if you get out of your car, it can catch another car off guard and cause another crash, and then that causes a pileup, and then it's just a whole mess from there. If you do crash, we want to minimize the aftermath of the crash as much as possible. So staying in your car will keep you and the people around you safe, because all those people are also driving in the same conditions as you are, and they could crash unexpectedly as well. You definitely want to, if you can, pull off to a side road if possible to get off the main road, and that way you can prevent a further crash.
All right, thank you, Austin, for all those tips. Make sure you stay safe yourself. Switching gears here just a tad. Going back to the zoo, the bears at the Brookfield Zoo outside of Chicago are enjoying the snow. Take a look. A resident bear rolled around in fresh snowfall over the weekend. According to reports, 8.4 inches of snow was recorded at O'Hare International Airport, making November 29, 2025, the snowiest November day on record in the Chicago area. Isn't that fun? We saw Jack rolling around earlier. Now we're looking at this bear rolling around. Better them than me is all I can say. Now, when we come back, we have a special treat for you. If you love the Home Alone movies, we're getting a sneak peek at how the homeowners are celebrating the 35th anniversary. We'll have that story next. Welcome back. It's hard to believe the beloved Christmas film Home Alone has turned 35. Since its premiere, fans from around the world have traveled to see the house where all the action went down, located right here in Winnetka, Illinois. Now, the place is bursting with holiday magic and movie history. Not many people get to go past the gates of the house, but Nick Smith did, and he shares the details.
It's one of the highest grossing holiday comedies in the U.S., Home Alone, celebrating its 35th anniversary. Families of all generations have watched and rewatched the McAllisters' chaos unfold, but one man saw it all from the inside, literally.
Let's just say that you and your spouse buy this, what you think is this dream house, and in less than 2 years, that home is the centerpiece of a blockbuster movie.
John Abenshine is the original homeowner of 671 Lincoln Avenue in Winnetka, Illinois, famously known as the Home Alone house. His family's world changed forever when Hollywood picked his home as the backdrop for the now iconic film. And decades later, he's sharing those memories in a new memoir titled Home, But Alone No More.
How did my house get chosen? Good question.
One that he gets asked all the time. John and his family lived down the street from where 16 Candles was filming, and he'd once connected with a Hollywood location scout. He had no idea that years later, that same scout he met in 1983 would show up on his doorstep.
I share in the book kind of a journey that I took. I mean, we lived here. It's 5.5 months of production. We got to know John Hughes, Chris Columbus, cast and crew.
He remembers what it was like living in the middle of a movie set.
We kind of created an apartment within the house. We had second floor, master bedroom, but we had no restrictions. I mean, just had to stay out of the camera.
But John says the real magic happened off camera.
My daughter was 6 at the time, and she and Macaulay Culkin became good friends, and little Karen. The folks you see on the screen are very much the people that you see in real life.
John also writes about one stunt scene that stuck with him, mainly because it didn't go as planned.
You recall the scene where he comes flying down the steps on his sled and out the door. That was not Macaulay, obviously. So the stunt double was a young man. He was 27, 28, about Macaulay's height. Macaulay's double goes shooting down the stairs, and he had these big landing pads out here for him to land on, big cushions. And the first time down, he totally missed him. And he hits the driveway. I was about to run back in and dial 911, but then kind of got up and said, well, let's do her again.
When the movie premiered, the house instantly became a tourist attraction. And 35 years later, fans are still showing up at all hours.
I started to wonder, is this the American dream, or is this my nightmare? And instead of ignoring people or wishing they'd go away, I started to kind of chat them up, get to know them.
We saw just a taste of what John experienced for decades.
I grew up on Home Alone, so it's always been a dream of mine just to come see this house.
Our first time ever in Chicago, I ordered pizza, and we actually sat at the table and we turned Home Alone on to this house because my son, he is autistic, he loves it.
So I'm from Poland, and Home Alone is an absolutely iconic movie for the Christmas. Every 24th, 25th of December, we all watch together and we're waiting for that. It's a part of the tradition now.
John admits it was difficult to leave the house at times, but eventually the family decided it was time to part ways with the home that made movie history.
We sold the house in 2012, simply being empty nesters, not needing the space, and frankly, not needing the taxes.
Today, the house is under new ownership and currently under construction as it is restored to its original 1990s glory. And as fans continue to revisit the holiday classic every year, John hopes they find something meaningful in his book.
It's been a gift to me, and like I say, it's a gift to share. You don't have a home unless you have a heart and can open that home up to others.
What a nice story. And speaking of Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin has an idea for another Home Alone sequel. It would feature him returning as Kevin McAllister, of course. He revealed his pitch while promoting the 35th anniversary of the first movie. For the newest sequel, Culkin says Kevin could be a widower or a divorcee who is raising his kid. And since he's not paying enough attention, the kid gets mad and locks him out of the house. So the kid is the one setting the traps for him. Basically, replace the robbers with Kevin as he battles his own son to re-enter their home during the holidays. Doesn't sound like a bad idea. Thank you for tuning in to Beyond the Headlines. We'll see you tomorrow.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to CIProud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.